Alfa PTE. This is Fatima, and today I am here with a very new thing. So, this is a new series that we are starting wherein we are inviting institutes who are training PTE, who are doing the groundwork, who are dealing with students. Is what types of students do you encounter on a daily basis, and how familiar are they with PTE exam when they start the training? Because
For them, it was really a hell of a task to crack those. So it would take them minimum two attempts to crack IELTS. But now with PTE, in one attempt, they go in from the paper.
Suman, what are some common mistakes that students make during their PTE preparation? Like, what do you think they can avoid? Did they remove it from the exam? Somebody was asking me the other day, like, how can they remove right from dictation from the exam? That means you didn't get to that point where right from dictation was. That no matter which template you use, as long as it's grammatically correct and there are no spelling mistakes, and you put content.
After that, I make them work on your section and mock test. And their exams, the result is almost just 2 or 3 plus or minus points based on the scores that they get in the mock test. I'll be very frank, it's one of the best platforms that I've come across, specifically your scoring part, when they're taking, for example, if they're doing...
Hello everyone, welcome to another video of Alfa PTE. This is Fatima, and today I am here with a very new thing. So this is a new series that we are starting wherein we are inviting institutes who are training PTE, who are doing the groundwork, who are dealing with students on a day-to-day basis to discuss about the issues that students are facing when it comes to PTE, how to tackle those issues, and what best we can do at our end to help students as much as possible. So I'm very happily welcoming Suman from AECC Study Abroad Consultants, and they've been in the industry for 10 years, and I'm going to discuss with her all the issues and all the tips and tricks that can help students, and then we'll take it from here. So hello Suman, welcome to Alfa PTE's podcast. How are you?
I'm good, Fatima. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming, Suman. Would you like to introduce yourself a little more to our students?
Yeah. Good afternoon, Fatima. I'm Suman Mishra, and I am a trainer for PTE as well as IELTS, and I've been associated with AECC Study Abroad Consultant for the last 4 years. And earlier, I mean, this is basically a visa consultant, student visa consultant, and we have a very good conversion rate for almost, very, very good conversion rate of this thing. I mean, I'd like to tell you, like, after we introduced your Alpha PT, we've been getting very good scores from students. Almost 95% of my students clear with good marks.
Thank you so much, Suman. We are glad we could do something that is helpful for the students. That's really good to know. Thank you for your feedback. Okay, so I wanted to ask a few questions, Suman, if that's okay with you,
Yeah, sure.
related to PTE. And the first thing that I wanted to ask is, what types of students do you encounter on a daily basis, and how familiar are they with PTE exam when they start the training? Because for us, we do deal with students, but not face to face. We normally deal with their queries on Telegram or WhatsApp or through email. But when it comes to face training, I know it is very different because initially we did that also. So how is it in nowadays?
So the students that we are getting over here, Fatima, are basically there has been a rush of students who wish to pursue undergraduate courses in specifically in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
There are students who want to do their postgraduate studies in other countries as well as Australia, of course. So when these students, and we are having students from both the backgrounds, like vernacular medium as well, who have
Okay.
studied all throughout in the vernacular medium,
Yeah.
and like kind of it becomes very difficult and tricky to teach them, but it is
Yeah.
easy and they grasp quite well.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and your methodology and your YouTube's channels, I do tell them that before you come, do have a look at these videos, your videos specifically, and they do perfectly well. So these are the kind of students, and when they come, they really don't have much knowledge. I get very few. So if I have, say, 10 demos in a day, so from them, I'll be having almost 20% of the student who are repeating the exams. And these are
Mhm.
those students who, go through various sites on YouTube, and they tend to learn on their own, and they
Yeah.
just get 40 or 50 score points, and then they come, and then in the second attempt they definitely clear, getting 65 or 68 points. So on an
Exactly.
average, like I've have students who are scoring above 70, 75.
That's nice. And now they've also started accepting PTE for Canada, which is a little different, but
Yes.
that has opened more scope for PTE.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because I remember the time, when Canada didn't have PT, and I had to teach IELTS, and specifically for students coming from vernacular background, it was very difficult for them to crack. The
Yes.
IELTS, specifically the writing task and the speaking task
Yeah,
was
they go by
very
the
difficult.
book, like, yeah, on point.
So for them, it was really a hell of a task to crack those. So it would take them two attempts, minimum two attempts to crack IELTS. But now with PT, in one attempt, they go even from vernacular, sorry,
That-
even from the vernacular medium, they do crack in one go. Most of
yeah.
them.
That's good. Thank you. There's one more thing that I wanted to ask, Suman. What are some common mistakes that students make during their PTE preparation? Like, what you think they can avoid?
See, one thing I have realized, I've been teaching PT for so many years now, that when they come to me, they learn from here and there. They listen to their friends that they use this particular strategy. And I mean, they come with all messed up kind of strategies. So, and they don't understand which are the questions that have very good, high priority kind of questions, and they'll be
Mm.
giving and spending equal time on all question types. Now, who
Yeah.
will give, multiple choice questions, single, multiple, which hardly carries any weightage. And then you're spending so many, like kind of, you're practicing 20 questions. I don't see any sense in that. So they come like that. And another mistake is that they get confused in the words.
Yeah.
Typically, when you have those fill in the blanks reading, writing, those four options they get. So this is
Mm.
where, because two options are quite close to the statement, most likely synonyms kind of thing. So they get confused over there. These are
Yeah.
the and spellings, of course. I mean, I don't know what to do about the spelling. Of course, they do learn it. I make them write them 10 times and all those things,
Yeah.
giving them the meanings and all. But these are the common mistakes they generally make.
Now that you're saying that, absolutely you're right, Suman, because even for us, a lot of the times they message us like asking about MCQ multiple answers, MCQ multiple answers, answer short question, and MCQ multiple answers. And in my head, I'm thinking like in every other video, I keep saying, don't bother about MCQ multiple.
Absolutely.
You can even skip them. But for some reason, like in IELTS, these kind of questions are so important that they've been like engrossed in their mind that, it's a question and you need to answer it, whether it gives you marks or not. So, yes.
One more thing I have observed, Fatima, once the students get bad marks in writing,
Mm,
ma'am, my essay didn't go well. I tell
yeah.
them essay does not have that much weightage to get scoring in your writing. Work on your right from the
Agree,
information.
agree. Totally. Yes.
Absolutely. So this is, so but that once I tell them, still they have that kind of thing. No, no, my essay didn't go well. That's why I got bad. And
Yeah.
okay,
Templates.
yeah,
Everybody's after templates.
that's true.
Uh, and which PT section, Suman, do you think, or which PT module is most difficult for students, and where do you think they struggle the most?
They struggle the most when it comes to repeat sentence in the speaking module.
Yeah.
In the reading is, frankly speaking, tricky for almost all the students, but not for people who are from English medium, but for the vernacular medium. Yes.
Yeah.
So fill in the blanks, reading, writing, and fill in the blanks, reading. That's where they tend to make mistakes. And they get a bit nervous when it comes to right from dictation, because when they come to that particular section, they are little tight on their time. When I tell them
Mhm.
specifically, just skip out some of the questions. You don't waste your time on those questions. Just ensure that the audio is over, you are on to the next question. Just click any random, for example, multiple choice question, listening, single and
Yeah,
multiple listening. Just
yeah.
randomly choose anything. You don't really have to worry about those things, or maybe select missing words. So then they get a lot of time over there. So this is where they tend to make mistakes. They run short on time when
True,
they come to
true, true.
write from dictation. These
Yes,
are the only questions that they
yeah,
struggle on.
of course, because I remember a lot of times we do get messages on Telegram, and a lot of personal messages are there that I didn't have right from dictation in my exam, and I keep thinking, how can you not have right from dictation in your exam?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
did they remove it from the exam? Somebody was asking me the other day, I was like, how can they remove right from dictation from the exam? That means you didn't get to that point where right from dictation was, and your
Time
time was over
management.
before
Time
that.
management. Yes, that's where they need to work on time management.
Exactly. No matter how many times we say, especially these five questions, I tell them like MCQ single answer, MCQ multiple answer, select missing words, highlight correct summary also, Suman,
Not
and
necessary. I know.
incorrect words. Just as soon as the audio is over, next. But
That's what. I
yeah.
know. I don't know what happens to them, even in spite of giving them the instructions. In the
Mhm.
exam, they'll goof up something and come. And then this happened. And they'll blame only essay writing, that I'm sure my essay did not go well, and that's why I scored less.
And there's one thing about templates that I was very curious about, because the number of experiments I did on templates, I found that no matter which template you use, as long as it's grammatically correct and there are no spelling mistakes, and you put content, it's working. Because I've
Yes.
tried
Yes.
like 10 different templates in this whole year. And every
Mm.
single time it was 90 if I keep in mind the grammar, spellings, and content.
You get those. So I have given those that trick to the student, that I've made your template quite simple. So it is very easy for them to remember. I just tell them, just, first just jot down few keywords, around 8 to 10, just keywords about that particular essay topic. And just write an introduction, and they should write everything in the introduction itself. And believe me, they are doing pretty well in this. But then you have students of all kinds, no, no, no.
Yeah.
They'll get, at the last minute, they'll get a template from someone else, and they end up goofing up their writing exam.
Exactly. Oh my God. Never use something that you have not practiced on.
Absolutely. I
Mm.
mean, I don't understand their mentality. No, no. I mean, they're not ready to. Sometimes it happens. I then do get angry at them as to trust your teachers, at least what they are saying.
Exactly.
But then they're students. What can be done about it?
Yeah. And when they try to write, they try to write very hi-fi words. And I say it's not needed. Your template
Needed,
has
absolutely.
everything.
Yes.
So I was like, maybe because I am saying this again and again, they'll be like, maybe you. So I was like, I think you should also tell me if what I'm saying is right or wrong, because no matter how many times I tell them, they again send the same message. Essay template not working. I was like, essay template has nothing to do with marks. So
True, absolutely. I mean, essays hardly just contributes to a very little percentage of the total writing marks.
exactly, that's correct. So one last question that I wanted to ask, and then of course you can ask whatever you want. But I was thinking you've been using Alpha for your training for a while now.
Yes.
How has it enhanced the training curriculum, and what improvements have you noticed in your students' performance? And what feedback do you want to give us based on that?
I'll be very frank. It's one of the best platforms that I've come across, specifically your scoring part. When they're taking, for example, if they're doing speaking module and they're getting marks. So I tell the students to look at how much from this you're getting in speaking and how much you're getting in writing. How this the integrated scoring works. And you won't believe, Fatima, one thing is I make them, once they're done, I generally give them a 15 days to 21 days plan to work on. After that, I make them work on your section and mock test. And their exams, the result is almost just 2 or 3 plus or minus points based on the scores that they get in the mock test. So very near, very near. So like kind of, I'm really very happy. Even the students are quite happy using your subscription. I mean, we give them a subscription. They're very happy. It's very easy, very nice. Like kind of, I enjoy teaching from Alpha. Earlier, we were using other this thing platform, but they were not really helping us out. My students were, because they were giving very high scores, and when they would go ahead, uh, I mean, they would like kind of come with very less marks. So that was
Yeah.
very disappointing to me as well.
Agree. We trainers take all the fall for that. They come and end up blaming us for not getting the score. So yeah, that's a very difficult aspect that we have to deal with. Thank you so much for the feedback,
Thank you
Suman.
so much.
Is
Yeah.
there anything that you want to ask from us that you want to
Yes,
discuss?
definitely. Fatima, I've seen that you take exams regularly.
Yes.
So I want to know two reasons for that. Of course, I know, but then for the perspective, like, from the even the students should understand as to why, because I haven't seen any like the other platforms that we had worked on before. I have not seen any of those people going and taking the exams on such a regular base. So I want to know the reason behind this, and how many times do you go to take the exams, and how does the entire your taking the exam helps in improving your platform.
Yeah, of course, Suman. So we've been initially we were also in training. So we've been taking exams since that time to keep ourselves updated with, mainly it started with checking the structures, the strategies. So our aim was whatever strategies we are providing our students, we wanted to check in the exam hall whether it's still working or not. So it started with that goal in mind. Then once we started Alpha, we also had strategy videos on Alpha, and we also started the prediction files, and we started uploading material and stuff. So that it became a broader, we added more and more reasons. So sometimes I give exam to just check on one question, like keep experimenting with right from dictation. If I add word in the beginning, if I add words in the middle, or if I add words towards the end. So exams are based on now experiment. So the admin is, if they have any doubts about a particular question and the scoring, they will tell me that, can you go and check the scoring of this particular question, experiment with it in any way you can, and give us the feedback. So then I go and experiment, like in read alouds I did one line strategy. I experimented on
Still
that.
working? Is it still working, Reader? I don't actually encourage much for one line
Honestly,
strategies.
yes. It is very risky because the only time it will work is when you read that complete sentence. I don't
Flawlessly.
read 10 to 15 words, just that complete. I read it till the first full stop, but without any break.
Hmm.
Now, expecting that from a student is a, I don't know, it's a big risk.
Absolutely. True,
So
true.
rather than that, the best thing that was working was skipping difficult words. Any word
Hmm.
that you feel is difficult, just move on. So that was the best. So now it's more for experimenting and changing the marking that we are providing in mock test to make it as close to the exam as possible. And then, of course, using the material for prediction files, helping prediction files, and also checking the templates which have been uploaded on the website. Obviously they are there on the website, we have uploaded them, so it's our responsibility to make sure if they're still working or not. So these are the three reasons primarily why I give exams. And nowadays, I don't know, for me or in general, previously I used to get the score on the very same day, but for the last 3 4 attempts it's taking like 5 full business days. Mostly I,
Here in India, we are getting the scores almost on the same day or the next day.
yeah, but for the last 3 times, it's taking me like 5 business days. So I don't book another exam. I try to take like minimum every 15 to 20 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how do how do you incorporate the changes?
Uh, this I
True.
just give the feedback to the admin because I am mostly dealing with training and material updating the material, but we have a software team and the admin team who takes into considerations all of these feedbacks, and then they all sit together and do a lot of you know things, thinking and stuff to put my feedback into the mock tests and stuff. So they do all the technical stuff, whatever is needed.
Okay, one more question that I wanted to know. Like, of course, I'll keep on having questions on and off, and then I do keep in touch with you and or Irfan to know, if I have several doubts or something. How can a student effectively use your Alpha PTE to enhance their preparation and improve their performance in the exam?
The I think I normally always ask students to first get familiarized with the PTE structure. So they can, if they are having a training, if they are a part of a training institute, well and good, because the trainers will help them learn what is PTE, how many questions are there, and what is the strategy for each and every question. So that is the first thing. If not, then they can, the material is already uploaded on Alpha to know what is PT. That should be the first thing, to know exactly what is PT. And then they can upload their desired score and use the study plan accordingly. So once they are done with the study plan, then they can take regular mock tests. I'd say at least one sectional mock test a day, and then two full mock tests over the weekend. Then you check. And I normally recommend keep a notebook where you make a note of your scores that you're getting. Then you
No.
will know whether you are improving and or not. And if you're not improving, what is the reason? You can even check the score feedback to see where you're losing marks, and we can take it from there.
Actually, this is what I liked about your platform was that, right from my this thing, I can access every student's analytics, see how
Yeah.
they're doing, and that helps me a lot in actually, pinpointing as to which particular module they need to work on. So that facility I have not actually seen in other on other platforms, So that was one particular thing I really liked a lot about it. It was
Thank you,
quite.
Suman. Honestly, I because I was into training and others, Zohe was into training. So we keep thinking like when we were into training, what all we needed, what all we wanted from our students to make sure that, they get the score. And as long as the student is getting the score, that's all we need. We used to have that in our mind. So we keep thinking and we keep encouraging other trainers and stuff to give us a feedback and see what else can be done to help them. Basically, this is all there to help the students and help all of us to excel in this particular exam. So that's the intention, and if that's happening, I'm glad we did something good.
Fatima, one more thing I want to know. The scoring pattern, the marking pattern
Yeah.
that means, I have observed marking pattern on of other platforms as well, of your
Mhm.
platform also. Now, I want to know, Pearson's actually, the scoring pattern is not known by anyone.
Yes, true.
So how did you come that, this would be the weightage of this particular question? I mean, how did you
uh,
come to that? And moreover, the other platforms too have a very different scoring. So sometimes it does confuse me because the students come, this particular platform was saying this is the scoring for this particular module. How you're telling me this? And I actually, Pearson's, there are other modules I wouldn't come to know. So how do you
mhm.
say what is the percentage for this particular question? What is the percentage for this? Which platform, I mean, which score is very accurate?
So
Matthew, go to Pearson.
the marking guide that we have prepared, honestly, we've been doing, like, I have personally been in PT since 2016. So from that time, we have been trying to, guess, okay, this is for this. So over a period of 8 years, we kept changing and changing based on the exams that we took. Like, sometimes we used to skip repeat sentences and see what is the score that we are getting. Sometimes we used to skip one particular question and see how much it is affecting. So in that way, over a period of so many years, we kept changing, and I can't say this is 100% accurate, because like you said, Pearson doesn't disclose, but this
Hmm.
is based on our experiences, not just me, whatever trainers were there, even when we were an institute, all the trainers also used to give exams and check. So
Hmm.
I'm still in touch with a lot of my colleagues, and they also discuss it. And then based on all the experiences, we sat down and we said, okay, let's do something which is helpful for the students, for a layman to know how to give that particular uh, information out there for the students, because this is a very important thing to know, that where
Yeah.
you are getting your marks from and what you should focus on. Yeah.
That's what I actually wanted to know, like kind of how did you actually come to, which particular questions are most important. But
Yes.
then the scoring does, like scoring pattern, your marking criteria helps me to, tell the students which are the questions that they really need to work on.
Yes. Now our trainers are still there, but they give exams. We don't provide trainings, but there are other people who are with me, because there's so many things that we need to experiment. And just me giving exam is not enough, because then I'll have to wait for my score report, and then I'll have to book an exam again, and then I'll have to go. So it takes a while. So now other trainers are there for just for the sake of giving exams. So we sit together, and then we upload and update these things together.
It does help a lot. It does help a lot. And I really love using your portal, I guess.
Thank you so much, Suman. Thanks a lot. So for today, I think we'll finish here. And
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us, Suman, and thank you for sharing your valuable insights on, especially on the challenges that students are facing and stuff, because it is really, really helpful for all the students to get an idea of what is actually, they are not the only person basically, that, yeah, okay, this is common. Others are also going through this, and it gives them hope. And hopefully, we'll be back soon with another session. And you are located in Vadodara?
Yeah, Gujarat.
Yes,
We have
Gujarat.
5 branches in Gujarat, and then we also
Mhm.
have in Delhi and Chennai and Thrissur. So we're actively involved with PT, and we all these we just share Alpha portal with all the students over there.
So, students, if you are in the same city, you're more than welcome. You're free to contact AECC Study Abroad consultants, and they have really good, uh, what do you say, score. A lot of students are getting the PTE score from them. So, please contact them and get your score ASAP. Thank you so much, Suman. Thanks a
Thank you,
lot.
Fatima. Thank you so much.
So we'll
Thank
be ending the session now, and we'll be coming soon with another session with another expert to gain their perspective. And stay tuned for the session. And thank you and goodbye for now.